The friction between Silicon Valley and the Pentagon has reached a critical flashpoint, centering on a company that brands itself as the conscience of the industry. Anthropic, the multi-billion-dollar startup behind the Claude AI, is currently facing an ultimatum from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth: open its technology for unrestricted military use by Friday, or face blacklisting. The Department of Defense is threatening to use the Defense Production Act, a Cold War-era law, to seize control of Anthropic's models for national security purposes. This isn't just a contract dispute. It is a fundamental collision between private ethical frameworks and the state's demand for technological supremacy. At stake is whether an AI developer can legally withhold its safety-first architecture from the machinery of warfare and mass surveillance. Anthropic's journey began as an ideological split. In late 2021, 11 researchers, led by siblings Dario and Daniela Amodei, left OpenAI, citing concerns that the race for commercial dominance was compromising safety. This mirrors historical tensions where technology moved faster than regulation, similar to the 2015 standoff where Apple refused the FBI's demand to create a backdoors for the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone. While early automation focused on physical safety in manufacturing, Anthropic's precursor was the realization that digital intelligence requires an internal moral compass. They launched with no product, only a manifesto on constitutional AI, a sharp contrast to the move fast and break things culture that defined the previous decade of software development. The technical engine of Anthropic is constitutional AI, unlike standard reinforcement learning from human feedback, which relies on inconsistent human labels, trains the AI using a written constitutions. In Phase 1, the model critiques its own responses based on these principles. In Phase 2, it selects the best outputs through automated self-evaluation. This has enabled the transition from simple chatbots to agentic AI. The latest update, Claude Code, allows the system to operate computers directly, executing commands, messaging colleagues, and building software. While human engineers currently outperform the model in complex reasoning, Anthropic's internal data shows a sharp increase in engineering productivity, signaling a shift from AI as a consultant to as a functional operator. The conflict rests on two rational but irreconcilable positions. On one side, the U.S. military argues that AI is a critical dual-use technology essential for national security. They view Anthropic's restrictions as a supply chain risk that could allow adversaries to gain a tactical edge. Their objective is all lawful use, meaning if the law allows a kinetic strike or domestic surveillance, the AI must facilitate it. Conversely, Anthropic maintains that certain capabilities, specifically AI-controlled weapons and mass surveillance, are inherently prone to abuse and illegitimate. They believe that embedding non-negotiable safety barriers is the only way to prevent a catastrophic loss of control. One side prioritizes the state's operational freedom, the other prioritizes the model's ethical boundaries. As of 2026, Anthropic has evolved into an enterprise powerhouse with a $380 billion valuation and $14 billion in annualized revenue. The next logical step involves the deep integration of Claude Code into ubiquitous office software like Excel and PowerPoint, moving from a sidebar chat to a background processor for all white-collar work. Legally, the impending confrontation over the Defense Production Act will likely set a Supreme Court precedent regarding whether the government can seize intellectual property to bypass safety protocols. Socially, the focus is shifting toward AI fluencies, the skill of managing these agents. The data suggests that while AI increases speed, it may erode the debugging and critical thinking skills of junior workers, creating a new competency gap in the workforce.